Week 3 preview presented by Saturn on the Saturn channel. Um, let's just jump into it. We got a couple big matchups versus undefeateds, and a lot of winless teams hoping to keep their season alive. So to start with it, we have on the flex Checkers hosting the Skylarks. Checkers last week, I mean, they put up a good fight against the Toros, but the Toros are just, oh my God, powerful. Um, and the Skylarks, they're trying to prove with this game that they're clearly the number two in the South. I mean, they would never admit to being number two instead of number one, but they're clearly number two in the South. They're an elite team, top four team. They deserve their ranking, and they're going to try to put the Checkers in their place because the Checkers, they have a nice core. I mean, everybody on their team is 84 or better rated. They're happy. They're clicking. But the Skylarks, I mean, they have a player like Maurice. I mean, they have generational players on their team. The Checkers are just a bunch of guys that are pretty good. So, I mean, I expect the Skylarks to pull this out in 8 sets, 5-3. I expect Spoon to have a good game, finally have a really nice game. Maurice probably going to have a really nice game. Checkers, I think they're just going to just ho-hum through the game because they don't have any elite players that can take over a game. Sven can only do so much. Gremlins hosting the Scarlet Ember. Gremlins need a win. The Scarlet Ember have a loss to give, frankly. They're 2-0. They they really didn't think they'd be here. I mean, they had Margay's Reapers to begin the season. 2-0, number 6. Gremlins 0-2, needing a win very badly. A close loss versus the Empire, an unreasonable loss in the first week versus the Captains, and they are scrambling right now. They have a really soft division, but it's not that soft. I mean, the Scarlet Ember, they're not a great team on paper, but they win and they just keep winning. They keep going to playoffs. They win, and the Interceptors are a scary good team. So I think the Gremlins will squeak this one out 5-4, but I don't think the Gremlins, they just don't have any pop this year. They just don't have any pop. Scarlet Ember, they're not that great either, but so I think the Gremlins will win this one. Toros hosting the Dragonfish. Imagine that plane ride over for the Dragonfish. I mean, how can you psych yourself up for a team like this? The Toros are just so good. They are so good. There's no holes, and you can say, oh, they're a throw first team. They have great defense. Reed is a great defender. Raekwon is caliber defender. Dragonfish have no hope. Hamura, he's nothing. He has no stats. I mean, there's no upside. He has a C grade. He was all hype. He had a great college campaign, and Cindy Worst bought into it. Got him. The only thing they have is Ricky Pete, and this is going to be a long season for him. One day, Dragonfish will be back to prominence, but not today. Margay's hosting the Empire. Margay's 0-2. Empire 2-0. Empire looking to stake their claim as the team in the North. To everyone's surprise, everybody had them number 4 in the division coming into the season, but they've played so well. They're smash mouth against the Jocks, and then they just played solid ball against a solid Gremlins team. But the Margays, 0-2, shut out by the Dizzy Devils last week. A weak loss against Scarlet Ember to open the season campaign at home, and they just don't have it. I mean, they have the roster, they just don't have it. I see the Empire really making things bad. I see the Empire winning this game 5-3. I think that there's just too many demons at play for the Margays, and I think they just let it affect them too much. And I mean, they're one of those teams that are very in their head, and Yeah, I think it's going to get worse before it gets better for them. Silverbacks hosting the Diamonds. Now, this is an interesting game. I mean, both these teams very good. They could easily be playing each other in the postseason. And the Silverbacks are pretty mad that they're 2-0, no ranking. Only team that's 2-0 with no ranking. But they can put a stamp on it today with their, I believe it's their season home opener. Uh, the big thing, I think, I mean, both these teams have two dominant players and then backcourt. Diamond's backcourt is obviously better. It's what got them to the championship and got them to within a set of winning the championship last year. But the Silverbacks, they're hoping Solomon can continue his trend upward. Because if you can help the first, let me just say this: they have the first and sixth best rated player in the league on a 5-man roster. It takes a really good team to beat them. You have to be a solid team. So I do expect the Diamonds to win. I think they're more full team. I think they're going to take the reins of the West as they should have because the Silverbacks just aren't there yet. Silverbacks kind of banking on one of their two rookies to break good, and Solomon seems to be doing that. But they're just not there yet. And I think the Diamonds really are the class of the North or the West still, even though everybody wants to sleep on them because they're just not a pizzazz team, but they get the wins done. Pharaohs hosting their desert rival, Phoenix Dodgeball Club. Pharaohs, the most tragic 0-2 team in the league. They're so good. Charlie's playing phenomenal, but they ran into two teams that are probably going to be in the playoffs to begin their season. And now they have to pull off a 6-3 run that includes the Interceptors, the Empire, 2 games versus the Diamonds, 2 games versus the Gold, another game versus the Silverbacks. I mean, this is going to be an epic run if they can do it, and it's going to start here with their home opener. It'll have to start here. If they lose this game, it's over. But Greeley's been playing like he's worth $11 million a year, and he almost caused the Silverbacks to lose on the flex again in Arizona. So don't expect an easy win, but I think the Pharaohs will polish it off here and just say, hey, we are a great team, and Phoenix, you're a couple years off. Reapers hosting the Captains. I think the Reapers will win this one. I mean, it's a desperation game for them. The Captains really have nothing to offer. I mean, their best player is a dodge first guy. He's a defender. I mean, they don't have offense. Reapers, you can kind of say the same thing, but they do have 2 players that throw 80 plus. So that's a little bit of offense. I think this game honestly is just not that attractive. There's nothing big that'll happen between these two teams this season. I don't think. I think both these seasons are kind of throwaways for these teams. Their rosters just didn't fill up the way they were supposed to in the off season. But do expect the Reapers to get a win here, get their season back a little bit. Sea Dogs Interceptors flex game of the week. Night flex of the week. Who knew the Sea Dogs would be hosting the number 1 team in the league? But we got a nice early season treat. Could be a championship, could be an invite, folks. Remember that. This could be an invite. I don't want to say championship because the Toros really seem to be occupying that position at the moment. But Interceptors, solid team. They're perfect. They're as close to perfect as you can really get without just roll of the dice luck. Kyle, offensive stud. Salem, defensive stud. Limburg, they have a defensive understudy, and he's playing amazing right now. Guerrero, dasher. Roman, perfect second arm, but he's a third arm on the team. So every position is filled on this team, and that's what you want. That's the That's the most you can get out of positioning players as a general manager, and the rest is just let them improve, let them play, and the ranking gods have blessed them. They're number one in the league. They've earned it. They had two smash mouth games already, and now they go interdivisional against the best of the best and the Sea Dogs. Sea Dogs, everybody's looking. I mean, last week they got played. I mean, they got faced by the Jocks, and it was a scary sight as they had to climb back into that um, and win. But they need Ellie Miller at the beginning of the game. He needs to understand that this is a team that could wreck your stuff. No more undefeated, no more high and mighty. Miller needs to come out swinging. Um, but I do expect this game to be really exciting and really close. These teams are really similar when you look at their roster setup. Strong defender, strong thrower. I mean, the Interceptor is a better dasher, and that really could. That's why when you're this good, every little piece matters. I mean, a dashing position, starting with the ball or not, is so major when you're dealing with teams that you just can't play past. And that's what the Sea Dogs are for the Interceptors. You can't play past them because the Interceptors have a hole in Guerrero once the set is started, but he can get them the advantage to equalize that. So should be a great game. London, Sea Dog Place. I'm excited for it. And this has been a week 3 preview. We will see you in Charlotte to start the week.